Hello, and thank you so very much for joining me tonight. I go by Lune INNATE, and I've gotten a lot of requests for like a whisper video, so I'm gonna do my best to kind of balance between whispering and like very soft spoken. But this video is super casual. I have nothing specific planned other than to share my recent trip with you, to make some sounds on some items that I brought home, and just kind of give you a few updates because the retreat itself was focused on the theme or title or tapping into the energy of spring and rebirth and emerging as a new version of ourselves. So I have some things I've emerged with, and I have some changes I'm going to be making in my life, and you will see them reflected here on this channel. And the number one is that I've decided to release my office space, and I will only be here in this office until mid-July. So if there's any of you in the area who are kind of toying with the idea of coming in for a session, and perhaps there's a novelty to, seeing where I record, perhaps, like a half joke there. Now would be the time, because I'm not going to be here. I've talked about moving a lot. There's been definitely that which I've shared and something I'm looking to manifest, which is moving. And I've realized that to do that, I need to become untethered. I need to kind of give something back so that I can open up some space in my life. And that's going to be the office for me. So my plan is to continue doing all my distance work the same as I am currently. I'll just probably do it from home. I want to open up to doing more group events, like retreats, but also like workshops and collaborations and things like that. So if you're looking for like a Reiki practitioner, I might be unavailable for a temporary time, but as a teacher, I'll still be available. That said, though, if you are looking for someone who does distance work, I have a collection of amazing souls on my website who I've worked with, and they all do distance work. Most of them I think are here in the States, but you can get in touch with them if you'd like some kind of distance session personally, because I'm going to be having to rearrange my schedule a bit, and that's something I'm going to also clear so that I can focus more on creating videos, especially for the sweet souls over on Patreon or Vimeo, I should say, as well, because it's just I'm not as focused as I'd like to be. And as much as I love the one-to-one sessions, I need to kind of let those flow a little, or pass them on a little bit. So all for good. All right, so I'd love to talk to you about the retreat, just because I know that some of you might be curious how it went. And honestly, this video, now I'm freaking 4 minutes in here, but this video is kind of a nice way for me to kind of get back into it, to make sure that I'm still able to make videos. I haven't exercised this muscle in about 2 weeks, and I do have a client video to record today as well. So hello, mister, if you know who you are. But I wanted to kind of use this as a warm-up and create this ASMR video for you guys and give you a little personal update. So I'll just kind of start pulling from my little hat here, quite literally. But one of the things I walked away with a lot from this trip in terms of connections. It wasn't, I'm just gonna be totally honest with you guys. It wasn't like a lucrative trip. I didn't make anything really from this trip. What I did make, I kind of gave back to the other people who were in Costa Rica, because I could see how much work they were doing, and blah blah blah, right? So I share that because I just want to be authentic, and I don't want you to think, oh, your first week-long retreat and you're just so fucking successful, excuse my language. Things take time to grow, even when you have a platform, and there's so much about this retreat that I have learned from. I wouldn't probably do a week-long one, for an example. I think it was a little too long for people to take off of work, or even for myself to be like missing my son for that long was quite challenging, as a mom. So next time I'm gonna plan a shorter trip, like do some weekend ones, do some 4-night ones, and just make sure that kind of start there, I guess. I worked with Blanca on this. You know that she was a host, you could say, but Juliana was really, I hope it's okay if I say her name, but Juliana was really the one doing a lot of the work here. She made the food, she hustled when she needed to find a different venue, she was a wealth of information and just a complete support for the event itself. But so much more than that. She is a friend of about 10 years, but we don't really get to spend that much time together. Like, she was in Toronto, I was in New York, and essentially being able to spend a week with her was one of the greatest gifts. And it really helped me to be inspired, to feel supported, to feel witnessed and heard, and it was just so beautiful to have that connection. So my major thing I walked away from here was not just that inspiration and insight, but also an even more deeply fortified friendship with a completely lovely individual. I don't know where to start. So when I got to the venue, or the first place that I was staying, this was like 2 days before the retreat actually started. Juliana had some gifts for me and for Blanca. One of them being this Palo Santo, which actually I believe grows there, if I'm not mistaken. Is essentially a wood that is collected. It's not harvested as in cut down. The pieces fall and we just let them lay there, and they basically start to age, ripen. So you can always tell good Palo Santo, and I learned this through Juliana, by the smell, because if it's aged and if it's been ethically harvested, it should have a certain richness to the smell. So good. Sorry if I scared you. Getting back to work here, I do have quite a busy day today and quite a busy day tomorrow, and then I'm off Sunday, and then I am working on Monday as well. So I appreciate you hanging out with me for this little warm-up. I'm really excited to create the Patreon videos, which I am going to be doing tomorrow. So those of you over there or in the subscription through my website, the Vimeo videos, those will be available soon. It will be the Taurus season video, as well as Another thing that Juliana gifted us were these amazing copal, like super authentic copal sticks. And you can see I used a bunch of them. These are like faves, so these big guys burn for a really long time. I want to say like an hour at least. Look, all fuzzy. I'll light some for you in the next video. So I feel like it might be a little confusing to hear me say I'm getting rid of the office. Like, how will I work? Well, I'm gonna return to making videos in my bedroom. I'm sorry, I won't show the bed. I'll try to make it as like nice as I can. It's just temporary. But sometimes we really have to trust that what we want is around the corner, but have we cleared space for it, you know? It's like when you buy new groceries, like you have to clear out the old spinach that's at the back of the fridge that you forgot about. Another gift that I received from Juliana was this rainforest jasper palm stone, because obviously Costa Rica is the rainforest, right? I was so impressed by that country. Oh my god. I have to admit, I didn't really know a lot about it, even though I did try to research. It's not the same as when you go somewhere. We stayed near Hako, and then on the last day or two, when everyone had gone and I just had some time to myself, Juliana and her partner drove me to Dominical, which was awesome. We had to drive up this crazy road, and oh, it was just gorgeous. More to come on that. I love doing retreats. I'm definitely very excited to continue, but of course adapt it a bit. I'm excited to collab with other people and really provide something special. The guests who came were absolutely amazing. Give a shout out to Maureen and Rachel specifically. It was such a treat to have this experience with those awesome ladies. And it was so funny and silly and real, and I can't like articulate it. I'm sorry. It was just a really awesome experience. So another thing Juliana gave me was this Palo Santo and Kumbaba stone bracelet, and she made it extra tiny because I have like bony little wrists, and it smells so good. So whenever you want to smell Palo, you can like smell it on your wrist. She makes malas and these little bracelets. Oh, sorry. I got home and cut my bangs again. When will we learn not to cut our own hair? I got a little sunburn on my shoulders and a little on my thighs too for a couple days, and I'm peeling. So I'm like itching the tops of my legs like a silly person. Okay, so those were the gifts that I first got when I got there, and I was like, stop it. And of course, I had some gifts for Juliana too. I really wanted to bring a hat from home, but I didn't have enough room for it in my suitcase at the time. And plus, it was like a felt hat. So I thought, oh, you know what? Maybe I'll find a summer kind of brimmed hat while I'm there. And of course, Juliana had one on, and I was like, oh, damn, I really like that. So I copycatted her, and I got one very similar. It's got these little pom-poms. It's kind of stuck in the back because it got bent. But this is going to be my, like, summer look. I love it. You can really, like, bend these, but you have to work on them. You get the idea. But how cute are these little pom-poms? One of the other things that actually came to the surface for me, which I didn't plan on sharing, was some healing in terms of my intimacy, if I can put it that way. I don't mean necessarily like intimacy, but my connections. Sometimes those with a Cancer North Node and Capricorn South Node seem to have trouble with like intimate connections. Usually it comes in waves and phases. It might have a lot of other stuff playing in, of course, but I've definitely connected with some Cancer North Nodes who share this sentiment. So I was surprised that came up for me because I wasn't really even aware of it. There was a time we also did an archangel meditation, and right after there was like a freaking lightning storm in the distance. Anyway, I love this hat. I don't know how I'm gonna wear it, but like, it's so cute. La la, it keeps popping up, which is good because then it doesn't hit my back. Okay, on the last day, Juliana came back. I thought that she was gone, and I was kind of settling in to try to get some sleep because I had to get up quite early for my flight home. My flight was at like 5 a.m. so we had to leave at like 2:30 a.m. But she came back with her cute little family with more gifts for me. And one of them is this adorable little vessel. plan to incant and make magic and put things in here that I want to empower. I'm sorry I'm not whispering. I'll try to whisper more. It's very symbolic to have a vessel, or to be gifted a vessel, or any sacred tool for that matter, of course. Excuse me. But this speaks to me of a theme, which is you can't pour from an empty cup. And we have to remember what we're holding and make sure that we're not just always pouring outward, right? I want to go back to the conversation about intimacy because I don't think I made a lot of sense there. But it was just kind of something I was acknowledging, came up during meditation. Actually, no, it came up during a dream first. And it was all about connecting and sharing, that kind of intimacy is what I'm specifically talking about. And while I feel like I can have intimate, close relationships with people, I feel like I also, maybe for my own protection, maybe because I'm just freaking awkward, have to keep people at a distance as well. It takes a lot for me to let someone truly close to me. And I don't think that's a bad thing. I think it's okay to know yourself and know what you're comfortable with and feel empowered by your own connection or your own discernment of when it's appropriate to let your guard down a little or let people see the real like core of you, the super vulnerable side. And while I do that quite openly, I think here for the most part, it's harder in real life, isn't it? And I think for me, a lot of it is having healthy boundaries. So this here is this blue clay, which I'm totally going to use tonight. Vita blue clay, dry powder. Basically mix like a teaspoon with a teaspoon of water. And I'm really excited about this. This was something I didn't get to experience while I was on my trip, but next time I want to go zip lining and go back to the beach and float because I've never actually floated before in the water. I get scared and then I push myself down. But it was so salty at the beach and so calm at the specific beach that we went to. Otherwise, it's quite and I felt